Welcome to Wingin' It with Wingo with me as your host, Derek Wingo, where we're bringing Gator Nation closer to their athletes through weekly deep dives and into player stories with exclusive behind-the-scenes access. Welcome back to Wingin' It with Wingo for episode 3, brought to you by Florida Victorious. If you didn't know, Florida Victorious is a fan club that has memberships from $15 to $250 a month that helps support your athletes, helps us win games, and do amazing things like this. Without further ado, I have a guest coming on later today, Graham Mertz. You guys all know him, number 15, quarterback for the Florida Gators. Super excited to get him on to the show, get to know a little bit about him as a person, him as a player, kind of what goes into, his daily schedule, and just, chatting up with him. A guy that's in the locker room, very respected, has great relationships with all the players, and, get to hear a little bit from him. So, your fun fact for the day. I just found this out actually today. I thought it was pretty cool. The Florida Gators have the longest streak of not being shut out in college football of 452 games straight since 1988. Thought that was pretty cool, pretty crazy. Gators being around for over 100 years. So, all the different stats and, cool things that have just been built here, through all the different areas and everything that is inspired. I'll make sure to bring a cool one each episode and make sure to keep you guys on top of things. All right, so we're going to get into a little bit about Florida Victorious and Gator Made. If you guys don't know what they do or, what they do for us. Everyone always sees the stuff posted on Instagram and stuff like that, but I wanted to kind of give a firsthand experience of kind of what that looks like for us. So obviously Florida Victorious, they do their memberships of, how NIL works, going to players. They're partnered with a ton of different, companies. That entails, Alachua Habitat for Humanity, Swag, Food for Kids, Education Foundation, all these different companies that give us opportunities to, go in and speak to children and give them advice and spend time with them. With Alachua Habitat, being able to build houses where that's going to, people in need, and then Swag, after school activities, being able to spend time with these kids. And, I think as a college athlete now and getting older, I'm just realizing, what it really means coming for somebody that, is an icon of, the younger generation and how much some of these younger guys actually look up to you. So I think, and it's just so amazing to really understand that and then give back, right? Being able to use your platform in college as an athlete in college football era today with NIL and all these other things going on, just understanding that. And, Florida Victorious does the most amazing job in the world allowing us to do that, right? Not only just, allowing us to do that, but letting us have a voice outside of just being an athlete or a guy in a helmet or a guy in a jersey, to be able to do things like this. You don't see guys being able to have this opportunity to come on podcasts and talk to people and have guests. So they've just done an amazing job with that, being able to set up all those different opportunities. And that ties right into Gator Made. And Gator Made, ran by Savannah Bailey. There's Diane, Stephen Ali, and Brandon Spikes now a part of it. I don't think anybody else in the country has a program like Gator Made. All the things that they do for us, that's whether or not it's planning for financials, right? It's planning for your career while you're in college, your career after college, putting you in front of all the right people to be able to build those connections, to be able to make sure that you're successful in the future. And that's what I always talk about when you break down like the decision to come to the University of Florida. It's not a 4-year plan, it's a 40-year plan. And I think, Gator Made is the perfect, icon for that to set that up for you. And I know you guys have seen all the different trips that they've set up. They've done the trip to New York, the trip to LA, Tampa. We did the broadcasting boot camp where we got to do stuff with, play-by-play, what it looks like behind the cameras with guys like Chris Dorn, who does it now with SEC Network. And then the abroad trips, which is super cool. I've actually been a part of all 3 abroad trips. I don't know how I did it, but it was pretty amazing being able to go to, South Africa. We just got back from Japan not too long ago. The first one in Greece. In South Africa, we were able to build water pipelines for, to make sure guys had clean water. In Japan, we got to do etiquette classes and learn how businesses and CEOs ran over there. I know they got to go to the Nike headquarters and just sit down with all these people. And, when you realize what you have as a college athlete and the opportunities, Gator Made makes sure that you're able to take full advantage of those opportunities. And that's just, in my opinion, better than anywhere in the country. And, it doesn't get any better than that, really, at the end of the day. All right, so we'll get into a little bit of, last week's game, right? Great win for the Gators on the road, SEC, I don't care what anyone says. It's always hard to win a road game, especially in the SEC with just the atmosphere and all the different things. I thought it was actually pretty cool. I completely forgot that, the old Coach Mullen staff coached at Mississippi State. So, obviously we have Coach Billy G on the staff who was a part of that. And I got to say, like, hey, how does it feel, coming back here? And he's, just amazing, right? And, it's cool. It goes back to building those relationships. And then we got to see Coach Knox. He was an intern head coach in 2021, was the running backs coach. He has that voice. It's, what's up, Wingo? And so he's, it was pretty cool being able to see him, and that goes back to what we were talking about last episode, was just, never burning a bridge, always having a good relationship with these coaches because, you never know where they're going to end up. You never know if they're going to be a future coach or, just be the CEO or have that job opportunity for later on in the future. We'll get into the good stuff. Quarterback performance. Wow. When you look at, Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway being able to come in with the 1-2 punch, both playing out of their minds, very efficient, absolutely amazing. Got to see Marcus Burke have his first touchdown. Shout out to Marcus Burke. And then I'm never going to be able to live it down. On the stat sheet, Austin Barber has a touchdown. We just had him on the show not too long ago. You see it on the stat sheet. It was a recovered fumble in the end zone. Austin Barber was the first one there. He's never going to let me live that down. So he now has a rushing touchdown on the stat sheet. Shout out to Austin Barber. He got the SEC O-Lineman of the Week. Now he thinks he's a running back in the locker room. I can't say anything to him. Props to him. Got the touchdown. And then some young guys stepped up to the plate, right? Not having Trey Wilson last week and Aiden Mizell, not having it on the stat sheet because they end up getting called back. But my gosh, just being able to see, the speed from this guy. There was the first one where his elbow ended up going down, but they continued to play. I think he ran like 70 yards, just outran everybody. And then the second one with the Montrell block ends up just blazing down the field for a touchdown, ends up getting called back. I don't think it was a blindside block. I talked to Montrell a little bit. He said the guy looked right at him. Guy ended up going down. I hope he's all right. It was good to see him get back up and everyone kind of hopefully making sure that he was okay. All right. Rocco Underwood. I know you have to have seen him 2 weeks in a row now, back-to-back with huge hits. I don't know anyone else that's better at long snapping than him in the country, but put him at linebacker for gosh sakes. I mean, this guy is making some of the biggest tackles and making the stadium rock with just the way this guy runs down the field and is making plays. So, I mean, the entire special teams unit has just been, lights out this season. I'm super excited for all the coaches that have been handling that so well with all the different things that ties into it. Now, we have a bye week, right? Everyone always asks kind of, what are you doing on the bye week? And, honestly, it's just a lot of time of prepping for the next week as well as just getting healthy. We got a lot of guys banged up right now, so I'm super excited to just take this time to hopefully get some guys back, taking care of your bodies, taking that to be in the training room, tuning up some details in the film room, figuring out what we do good and what we do bad and how we can do it better, right? That's all it is when you're going through the season, long season, getting things rolling, and then just having that momentum building in. So the time's been released, 7:45 at home in the Swamp versus UCF. Super excited for this one. Last time we played them was in 2021 for the Gasparilla Bowl down in Tampa, but this one's a night game in the Swamp. Nothing like it. Definitely going to be sold out. 93,000 going to be there. The best part about it always is, Tom Petty going in the fourth quarter, all the lights. I mean, it's an atmosphere like no other. So I'm super excited for this game. But later on, when we come back, we're going to have Graham Mertz. Super excited to have him with just, his journey. Get to learn a little bit about that and to just understanding the respect that this guy has, the way he carries himself, the way that he does everything. It's just absolutely amazing. So when we come back, get to hear from him. But right now, we'll take a quick break. Welcome back to Wingin' It with Wingo for episode 3. Special guest, obviously you can see him, Graham Mertz. Graham, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, first off, it's a pleasure to be on Wingin' It with Wingo. A lot of great guys have been in here. But yeah, Graham Mertz, quarterback, number 15 for the Gators. Can't wait for this. It'll be fun.
From Kansas.
From Kansas City. Kansas, not Missouri.
All right, we'll kind of hop right into it. Kind of take you back to a blast from the past, back from your recruitment.
It's a long time ago.
Being at Wisconsin, coming here to play Florida. What was your recruitment like, kind of, just when you were a younger guy in high school?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, freshman, sophomore year of high school, went to a private high school. It was like 45 minutes away from my house. Ended up transferring to a public school right down the road. And then played my junior year. Before that, before the year, actually, we had like a team camp at University of Kansas and hadn't played a snap of varsity football. Go to the team camp, they actually offered me there. So that was my first offer from Kansas. And then I played the first 3 games, and that's kind of when the offers started rolling in. It was Minnesota. My dad played there, and then Wisconsin. And then took a visit there after, I think it was like week 5 of my junior year, and committed right away. So committed with like, I think it was 3 offers. And then that summer, really going in my senior year, blowing it up.
Just blowing up. I got to see that. You were 2018 Gatorade Player of the Year, went to the Elite 11, the opening finals. Obviously, things ended up being pretty well from you. I've never been to Kansas, or I know it's kind of cold there. You were just telling me how it's a lot of land.
You get every season.
Yeah,
every season.
Yep. So you talk about your dad going to Missouri, was it? You said
in Minnesota.
You come from a family of athletes. How is that, obviously, your relationship with your parents and your sister all playing sports? It just runs in the family?
Man, my whole family. So, yeah, dad played football. Actually went into Minnesota as a linebacker. So he was like, we joke around, he was 6'4", 220, kind of like right where I was when I was a freshman. And then he left, and he played every position on defense besides like DBs. So he was linebacker, DN, nose, tackle, like played everything.
Versatile.
And then I went to offense and played center or tight end, center, guard, and then ended at tackle, put on like 100 pounds. So we always joked around, like my freshman year, he's like, yeah, just wait till the 100 pounds come on, you're going to be a left tackle.
For the family
still
events,
hasn't happened.
Do you guys get that competitive urge playing all the games? And
we get competitive doing anything. I remember there's one time where we were moving my sister out of her house at K-State where she was playing basketball, and we were trying to like take apart a bed. And like we got competitive doing that. Like everybody thought that their way was the right way of doing it, but just super competitive family. Both sisters played basketball, volleyball. Mom was a volleyball player. So yeah, super athletic, super competitive family.
Family of athletes.
Board games, anything
you do.
Anything.
Oh gosh. So when you were obviously being at Wisconsin first, coming over to University of Florida, so I actually remember this. I think it's a pretty cool. We were in bowl game practice. You were kind of on your visit. You were in the portal. And we're just kind of going at it. I'm seeing you in the back watching practice, and obviously I knew who you are coming in for the visit. And I mean, I give props to you because I could already tell the type of guy you were, the commitment, the dedication, how locked in, and you already almost dedicated and kind of getting to know the guys, right? You already were like, hey, how you doing? Hey, getting to know everybody and trying to feel comfortable and feel out some of the guys. And that's something that you just don't ever see every day with like the transfer portal and everything going on. So I give you all the props to that of just, going through that process. Obviously difficult after 4 years of being somewhere else and going through that transition. So that's, props to you for that. And then that goes right into, what it takes to be a quarterback at the next level, right? I mean, I was laughing about it. I got to watch the Patrick Mahomes the thing on Netflix and saw kind of what he goes through. And now I'm watching it firsthand with you. So what is your daily, like, what do you do on a normal day as a quarterback?
Normal day,
most people
in
don't
season?
Know that. In season.
Okay. Yeah, okay, there's a lot. So first thing, we'll wake up probably around 6:37. Sleep's most important. So you got to get 8.
Recovery.
Got to get 8 to be great. So I'll wake up. First thing I do, coffee. Every morning. Starbucks order. I got it right over there. Nitro cold brew. Can only get the grande. And then you throw an extra shot in there of espresso.
Hope Starbucks
clarify. And then sugar-free vanilla. So you, straight to the bloodstream, rolling. And then I'll head in the facility. And my mornings are big, like, because we practice in the afternoon. So I use the morning as my prep time. Watching film, watching cut-ups for that day. If we're, say it's like a Tuesday and we got normal down and distance, I'll watch that team's normal down and distance cut up. So I'll kind of get a feel for what the game plan is going to be based on what they run. And then, so I'll do that. And then I do a bunch of like personal prep with, we call it padding. But like I like to write out exactly what everybody's doing on each coverage based on clips. So like every day it's kind of like 12 to 24 of those. And then, so I'll finish that. Get some lunch. Some days we'll have a lift before lunch, so we'll lift. And then after that, there's kind of a gap from like
Prep to practice,
noon to
kind of
2.
getting yourself
So
situated.
yeah, so then I'll meet with coach right around like 12:15 every day. They'll kind of go for 30, 40 minutes, and then from 1 to 2 is kind of my personal prep time. I started working with Mahomes' trainer because he's from Kansas.
So you have that whole little suit of
Wingo.
vest and
Wingo always gives me crap because all my stuff. I got a bunch of little toys and trinkets that I use, but gets my body right. So I do that, and then we go into meetings for practice, have practice, and then after practice, just recovery. So and watch the tape.
Gosh.
So they're long days during the season.
I think people don't realize that how much goes into being a college athlete, and especially a quarterback. I mean, I can only imagine. We do a lot of stuff at the linebacker position, prepping for all that. But being a quarterback, just everything that goes into it, the critique that you have to have, and everything, and the way you play, the way you prep, taking care of your body, making sure your shoulders right, all those different things. I just feel like sometimes people don't realize that. So
it's a lot, man.
Yeah,
it's fun though.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier
fun
when you love what you do.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly, loving what you do. Another big question that a lot of people always ask is, being a quarterback and having that icon image, right? Mm-hmm. How do you deal with social media? We're just talking about like the maturity level that you need for being in college sports nowadays. How do you manage, social media? You just told me how your phone number got leaked not too long ago. Like, how do you deal with all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of inevitable. Like, good, bad, or ugly, stuff's going to come up. So for me, it's like, how do you stay grounded through that? How do you stay focused on like what actually matters? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's always like, I got a job I got to do. And anything that takes me away from that is just wasting my time.
Exactly.
So if I see it as that, like, this is just wasting my time, then I don't focus on it at all. So, obviously, like, you got to have a personal brand. You got to keep up with that. You got to put energy into that. But I think that I got a really good team around me with my agents, my family that kind of takes care of a lot of that stuff. So, but the biggest thing is just, like, good or bad.
Understand your priorities.
Yeah, and understand what actually has an impact on what you do.
There's always going to be those positive and negative critiques no matter what you do in life. So, I mean, that's when it goes back to your inner circle, right? You talk about, I brought it up earlier, and I think it's the coolest thing, Chim. Like, you being at Wisconsin with Chim now being here at the University of Florida, that relationship, having that connection with those guys, and then even things like, I saw you got to take the offensive lineman to Hawk Zone for a dinner right before fall camp. I mean, building that relationship with your guys is always – a key part of wanting to be successful, and especially being a quarterback. Yeah. Making sure Barber and Slaughter take care of you and Chim gets open. So we're getting the bye week. We're in the bye week now.
We're in the bye.
I mean, I'm excited. Bye week. Get to, get healthy, take care of your body. You get an extra little week of prep for the next upcoming team. But then you get a little off time, a little downtime to, take your mind off football for a little bit. I know people freak out when they hear that. But honestly, like, to be able to make sure that your mental is right, to make sure that, it's a long season, making sure you understand that, like, you feel comfortable and, maybe spend time with your family. What's something you want to get into, or you're relaxing, or what are you going to do for an off day for bye week?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I need to do is just sit down and clean my apartment.
Obviously you're never home, so.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, it's been a wild 4 weeks. I think for me, it's just kind of like take a step back, take a breath, relax, hang out with the guys, watch some football, and just kind of like not analyze football, but just sit down and just. It's different when you're watching the game on TV rather than instead of just like watching on film. Because when you're watching on TV, like, you can't watch. Like, I can't study the defense because they only zoom in on the ball and track the ball. So
I feel like it still happens for you when you're watching. I know it happens for me too.
Yeah.
Just you're seeing like, what coverage are they in? What are they running? 1 high, 2 high, all those different things.
Oh, it's 3rd and 4. What are they going to run? Exotic pressure, man.
It's just wired in your mental.
But just relax, man.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, we don't get too much time off in the year. I mean, most college athletes don't. So
it's gonna be weird with 2 bye weeks this year.
Yeah, with the new schedule. We've talked about that in some of the previous podcasts. It's just the SEC expanding, college football playoffs. Having 2 bye weeks, the length of the season. There's a lot of different changes that have just gone on. So it's just how well you can manage it.
My whole career, the amount of changes there's been.
Yeah.
Like, you think about it, came in before NIL. COVID happened.
That was when I was coming in during COVID.
So I came in before NIL, COVID, NIL, and then all the post-NIL collective, transfer portal, all this stuff. So
there's going to be a documentary coming out soon. I would love to be a part of it because that would be just amazing.
Crazy.
All right, we'll get into a little bit of football, stuff like that. Obviously, we talked about some of the changes. Some of the new additions that I thought is super cool is, having mics and the helmets and iPads on the sideline.
Yeah.
You know, I get the chance to have a mic in my helmet. I know you do as well. What is that like? Like, is that like checking plays, or is that like seeing for coverage, alerting for down and distance and stuff like that?
I think it's great. I mean, I think that if you use it well, it's an advantage. I think that, like, for me, I mean, we meet all the time. Like, Coach Nape's calling the plays. We meet with him all the time, and I kind of get a feel for what he likes that week. And then we have those, like, little, like, you know it, like all of our situation expert terms that help in those situations. Like, especially, I think it's huge for, you think, end of half, end of game scenarios that
take advantage of all those things.
It's going to clean up a lot of that stuff. Like, if your team really puts emphasis on that and works on it, like, it will help in those situations. You won't see the game where, like, a team just forgets to kneel it because like, just little stuff like that. Yeah, like someone talking through stuff. But even just during the games, like last week we were playing Mississippi State, and little pointers like, hey, if they rotate down and they're in boundary rotation, close middle zone, like, we're going to get this touchdown. Yeah. Like little stuff like that. And it just works out exactly like that.
No, that's, I mean, it's the name of the game. It's upgrading a little bit. I know the NFL does it with the iPads, being able to make, like, sideline adjustments.
And the iPads.
Yeah, not having to wait till halftime to do that. So
I think the iPads are big because it's like, it like verifies what you're seeing.
Exactly. You don't have to make it up in your head. I think I saw this. Let's double check it.
I think that Mike linebacker blitzed on that.
Yeah.
Play. Like,
and now you can go right to the sideline, pull it up, figure it out, like how you're going to slide the protection, everything cool like that. So, no, that's definitely something that is amazing. I think college football is added, and it's only going to enhance the game. So that's definitely – so when you talk about it, I see quarterbacks like this. I know I'm running around like this when we're at home, playing in the swamp. I can't hear anything. Yeah. So, I mean, playing away SEC games, you definitely is a factor when, you know, you're going off the clap. You're trying to hear different play calls. Yeah. Like, how is that adjusting to, you know, just being able to hear in a away game, especially in the SEC?
I think that the biggest thing is, like, because it can get to the point where you rely on the headset.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, like, you still got to have signals. You still need to know the plan. Because for me, like, there was a point in the game where the headset cut out at Mississippi State. And I'm looking over the sideline like, okay, this formation, like, we only have one play out of this formation. And, like, once I saw everybody, I'm like, okay, I know the play.
Yeah.
And then I got all the communication going. But, it's just the prep of knowing why you're calling certain things. And you can't fully rely on it because at any time it can go out. So
exactly. No, that's definitely – I know one thing I've been looking forward to is playing away at Texas this year. Yeah. I think my favorite is playing at Tennessee. Is that stadium atmosphere is cool. Playing away at Texas this year. Are you looking forward to any away games? Obviously, playing in the swamp there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like the swamp. Nothing like it. But I think that just like any time you get to go on the road, I enjoy road games because it's like
me as well.
It's just you and your guys and your coaches.
Backs again, foxhole guys.
Foxhole guys.
That's what Coach Napier always talks
foxhole
about.
Guys.
Back to back, foxhole guys.
But I mean, I think Tennessee's gonna be fun. I never played there or Texas. But yeah, I mean, I've played in a lot of away games. I played in Ohio State Shoe, the Big House, LSU, all these different places where you gain an appreciation just for football when you go to those places and just the passion behind each team. Yeah. So it's they're fun.
The adrenaline rush is just insane. So it's winding down. We have it's crazy to say it. We were just talking about, you know, all these different plans and stuff. We have 2 more months left in being in college. It's been a long road.
6 years,
journey.
Brother.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So obviously it goes into, you know, the prep for draft. Like, do you have a plan for kind of where you're going to train at the end of the season? I know you're super close with Ricky, so it's like something maybe you guys linking up, throwing some pass routes. Chim's definitely going to be there. Do you have a plan, kind of what that's going to look like?
Yeah, I got a plan. I mean, I think we're going to end up going back to I'm going to end up going to Kansas City, training back home because I just got my quarterback coach, strength conditioning coach, kind of like combine prep. So I got a really good setup there. Family's there, so I'm gonna head back there, and then obviously we'll make our rounds and we'll go to different places, and it'll be fun. Can't wait.
No, I'm excited to take the next
step. You're staying in Florida, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to take that next step. I know you are as well. Yeah. You know, it's a lot mentally, a lot physically, preparing for all that, and then we were just talking about just like, you know, preparing with NIL can set you so much up for the future. So I'm excited for it. All right, we'll get into something fun. The rapid fire questions. All right, you can't see them. You can't see them. All right, so we'll get the rapid fire questions. 9 questions in 90 seconds. Brought to you
9
by
questions.
Florida victorious. Graham Mertz, are you ready?
You said 9 questions?
9 questions in 90 seconds.
10 seconds per question. All right, let's rock.
On you. All right, here we go. Your favorite quarterback in the NFL?
Ooh, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
It was Tom Brady, but he's not in the NFL anymore.
I'm
Commentator.
a Tom Brady guy, too. All right, favorite uniform combination at Florida?
All blue.
All blue.
Big blue.
I love all blue. All right,
Yep.
is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No.
Hot dog's a hot dog.
I think it's a sandwich. All right.
This guy just loves hot dogs. Like, any
On the
chance he
golf
gets on the
course,
golf
gotta
course,
have 'em.
anywhere. Hot dog guy.
You're having wings, drums or flats?
Ooh, drums.
Drums. All right, one superpower in the world, what would it be?
That's a good one. I would say superhuman speed.
Speed, like the
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah, or just like Trey Wilson.
Trey Wilson. I guess that works, too.
23 miles per hour.
Yeah,
That's
that
what I
guy
want.
blazing fast.
I just want to feel it one time.
One time.
Just one time.
All right, top listen to artists. Put them on any time.
Just one. Rod Wave.
Rod Wave.
Rod Wave. 24/7. Car, apartment, anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yep.
Time to shoot your shot to the people.
Shoot the
Celebrity
shot.
Crush.
Okay,
Always
believe it or
growing
not,
up.
I don't. Oh, always growing up.
Growing up now, I mean, it's all you. Camera's on you.
Weren't we talking about this in the locker room? He knows what am I going to say?
It's free for the people.
Transformers, Megan Fox.
Transformers, Megan Fox.
There we go.
I'd go with that too. Most
We were
famous,
talking
I
about
don't
it
even know.
like a week ago.
Yeah. Most famous person in your contacts.
Most famous person? Oh, Slick Rick. RPZ.
Ricky Pearsall. Everybody knows him. And if
My
you
brother.
didn't play football, what is the one thing that you could play?
Golf.
Golf.
I think, okay, you want my honest opinion?
Honest opinion.
Honest opinion. If you took you, Chim, myself, maybe not Joey Slackman, and we trained for a whole year, I think we could be really good at golf.
I think we could too. We got to get the course records out here
Course records.
and try and break them.
Not right now.
Not right now.
We
we're
are
a
not
little busy
close.
right now, but
We're in the
future-
hundreds. We're in the hundreds
future,
right
we'll
now.
work on it.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. Definitely pretty cool. That's your 9 questions in 90 seconds. All right, Graham, I have a test for you.
I saw Shamar's.
Yep. I had
Shamar's
to change.
was
I
bad.
had to change it up because
Okay.
I didn't want you to have a
Shamar's
little bit
still
of a
on
head
there.
start. Yep. His amazing drawing of the salamander gator. All right. So you're in the green room.
I am not an artist at all, by the way.
You're in the green room. You're with your whole family's there. You just got drafted, first round.
Okay.
Right? You're in the green room. You just got drafted. Let's say it was Kansas City, staying at home. Patrick Mahomes just retired. You're stepping into the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City Chiefs logo.
Oh, this is easy.
You got 30 seconds on the clock.
On the clock?
30 seconds on
On
the
you?
clock.
We
Kansas on you.
All right.
Go ahead. Kansas City Chiefs. Remember, you're in the green room. A lot of noise going on. Your mom's hugging you. Your mom's
You're distracting me.
yeah. Hey, this guy might be an artist.
Is there an outline?
I don't know. That one didn't even take 30 seconds.
How about that? Arrowhead.
I guess I should have given him one a little bit more difficult than that. It's
Give me
from
another one.
Kansas.
Give me another one. Give me another one. Give me another one.
All
On
right.
the spot.
All right, you just got drafted. Kansas just traded their pick.
Okay.
Kansas just traded their pick. You're going to play with Ricky in San Francisco. 49ers just took you.
Oh, I don't even know what their logo is.
Oh,
I don't. This is bad. I just
better
blanked.
call Ricky.
Is there 40?
No, no.
Oh, okay. Glasses came off.
Oh man, we'll give a bonus 10. Oh, I guess we'll let that one slide too. It's pretty good.
There may be a 49ers helmet right up there, by the way.
All right, you were better than Shamar. That's it
Come on,
today.
Shamar.
Thank you again, Graham, for coming on here. It's always a fun time getting to, just have conversation with guys. Let other people know a little bit about you. Obviously, this isn't possible without Florida Victorious. And then just giving us a spotlight, giving us, a little bit of a voice outside just being an athlete. So once again, thank you, Graham.
Winging it with Wingo.
Winning it with Wingo. Wingo out.
That's the new hand signal.